The tiny red light was blinking beneath the CEO's bookshelf when Daniel noticed it, and in that instant the mop slipped from his hand. He had cleaned that office hundreds of times, but he had never seen anything like it. A miniature camera had been hidden behind a decorative wooden panel, aimed directly at the CEO's desk. Daniel stared at it, his heart pounding, because he knew one thing immediately: whoever had placed it there did not want anyone to find it. And if the wrong person discovered that Daniel had found it, the consequences could destroy the only stable life he had left for himself and his 8-year-old daughter. Daniel had never imagined that a janitor's uniform would become the center of a corporate mystery. At 38, he had learned not to expect much from life. After his wife passed away 3 years earlier, he became both father and mother to his little daughter, Lily. Every morning, he packed her lunch before taking her to school, then hurried across the city to the glass tower where he worked as a night janitor. His paycheck barely covered rent, groceries, school expenses, and the growing mountain of bills left behind after his wife's illness. Still, Daniel never complained. He believed that as long as Lily had a warm bed, food on the table, and someone waiting when she came home, he was rich enough. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the idea that doing the right thing can change a life, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to the channel for more emotional stories like this one. That night, Daniel had been asked to clean the CEO's private office after an important board meeting. The company's CEO, Victoria Hale, was known throughout the building as brilliant, demanding, and almost impossible to impress. Employees whispered that she trusted numbers more than people and had fired executives for mistakes worth millions. Daniel rarely saw her directly, but he had noticed something strange over the past few weeks. Security guards had become unusually nervous, assistants were whispering in hallways, and Victoria often stayed late alone in her office. Daniel never paid attention to corporate politics. His world was much smaller: finishing his shift, buying discounted groceries, helping Lily with homework, and making sure there was enough money left to pay the electricity bill. As he wiped dust from the bookshelf, he noticed a small reflection in the glass. At first he thought it was a screw, but when he leaned closer, he saw the unmistakable lens of a hidden camera. Daniel froze. He looked toward the door, then back at the device. His first instinct was to pull it out, but something stopped him. He remembered a lesson his late wife had once taught him: when something looks wrong, do not make it worse before you understand what you are looking at. So Daniel carefully photographed the camera with his old phone and left it untouched. The next morning, Daniel quietly approached Marcus, the head of building security, but Marcus reacted strangely. Instead of being surprised, he became nervous and immediately told Daniel to forget what he had seen. He warned him that people who asked too many questions in a company like this usually found themselves unemployed. Daniel understood the message. He also understood that Marcus was afraid. That fear made Daniel more suspicious than ever. For 2 nights, Daniel secretly observed the office from a distance. Then he noticed another detail. The camera was not connected to the company's normal security system. It had a separate wireless transmitter hidden inside the bookshelf. Someone had gone to great lengths to install it. Daniel began wondering whether Victoria herself knew about it. Perhaps someone was watching her to steal information, sabotage her, or frame her for something she had not done. The answer came unexpectedly. Late one evening, Victoria returned to the office carrying a folder. Daniel was cleaning the hallway when he heard her speaking quietly on the phone. She sounded frightened, not angry. She mentioned missing financial records, an upcoming board vote, and the possibility that someone inside the company was trying to take control. Daniel suddenly realized the hidden camera might be part of something much larger. Then he saw a man enter the office after Victoria left. It was Marcus. Daniel watched from behind a partially open service door as Marcus approached the bookshelf and checked the camera. He removed a tiny memory card from the device and replaced it with another. Daniel's stomach tightened. The head of security was not protecting the CEO. He was spying on her. Daniel had a choice. He could stay silent and protect his job, or he could risk everything for someone who probably did not even know his name. His daughter's face appeared in his mind. Lily had once asked him why he always helped people who never helped him back. Daniel had smiled and told her that kindness was not supposed to be a business transaction. So Daniel made his decision. He did not confront Marcus. He did not touch the camera. Instead, he carefully preserved every photograph, wrote down everything he had witnessed, and contacted Victoria through the one channel Marcus could not control. A handwritten note slipped beneath her office door. He told her only that she was being watched and that someone inside the building was changing the camera's memory card. He asked her to check the security logs before trusting anyone. The following morning, Victoria called Daniel into her office. Daniel walked in expecting to be fired. Instead, he found Victoria standing beside her desk with tears in her eyes. She had reviewed the evidence and discovered that confidential company information had been stolen for months. The hidden camera had been collecting private meetings, financial discussions, and sensitive documents. Marcus had been working with a senior executive who wanted Victoria removed from the company and planned to use stolen information to force a takeover. Daniel's evidence gave Victoria the missing piece she needed. Within days, an internal investigation began. Marcus and the executive involved were arrested for fraud and corporate espionage. The board cleared Victoria's name, and the company's employees finally learned the truth about the mysterious events that had frightened them for months. But the biggest surprise came afterward. Victoria discovered Daniel's financial situation and learned that he had worked extra shifts for years while raising Lily alone. She also learned that he had refused a reward from another employee months earlier because he believed helping people should never be done for money. Instead of giving Daniel a simple bonus, Victoria offered him a full-time position in the company's facilities and security operations, along with training, better pay, health benefits, and a schedule that allowed him to spend evenings with his daughter. Daniel stood speechless. For years, he had believed his job was simply to clean other people's messes while quietly surviving his own. He never imagined that one honest decision could open a door he had spent years believing was permanently closed. Months later, Daniel walked through the same lobby wearing a clean company suit instead of his old janitor uniform. Lily was beside him, holding his hand. She looked up at the towering glass building and asked whether he was still a janitor. Daniel smiled and told her that sometimes life gives you a new job when you least expect it, but the most important thing is never to change the person you are just because your circumstances change. And as they walked toward the elevator, Victoria watched from across the lobby and smiled. She knew Daniel had not saved her because he wanted money, power, or recognition. He had saved her because, even after losing almost everything, he had refused to lose his kindness. If this story touched your heart, please like the video, share it with someone who believes good people still exist, and subscribe for more stories that remind us that one honest choice can change an entire life. And before the story ends, I want to ask you something special. Comment, kindness always wins, if you believe doing the right thing is worth it, even when nobody is watching. Because sometimes, the person everyone overlooks is the very person who saves the day. And sometimes, the greatest reward for a good heart is not money or success, but the chance to finally give your child the life you always dreamed of for them.